Pay attention to what this gentleman, who is the coach of South Africa, said about Messi and the incident the other day. He compares him to one of his own South African players who recently got a red card against Mexico and was suspended for 3 matches. It's amazing, amazing. We're going to see it right away. But first, let's talk a bit about the latest events in this World Cup. And it's this: Vinicius and his Brazil winning, and Ancelotti's Brazil as well, winning 3-0 against Haiti, who put up much more of a fight than the score suggests. It was clear that Brazil's goal was going to come, although now we'll talk about the refereeing issue, because for me, the way the first goal came, it should never have counted. But Brazil, they win this match 19 and a half times out of 20. That had to happen, and that's how it happened. But hey, Haiti gave me a really good impression. In general, the national teams in the World Cup, damn, if you compare it to 10 or 20 years ago, it's a big difference today. Many national teams are learning how to play soccer, and they're learning in a big way. And above all, if they're athletes and they stand up to you, you have a bad game and end up with a 0-0 draw, like what happened with Spain. But anyway, Vinicius has won his second consecutive Man of the Match or Player of the Match award in this World Cup, and he scored a goal. And we also have to mention that Hendrick came on as a substitute, scored a goal that was disallowed, and that Rafinha got injured. Careful. By the way, neither Rafinha nor Mila have bandaged hands, and all the Barca players seem to have recovered from wrist injuries. But the fact is that Rafinha, the man, had to leave the field injured. Let's see what he's got. Also, they studied during halftime before the second half of the Turkey match. Right now, Turkey would be out. By the time you see this, the match will be over. Maybe Turkey came back. I don't know. But we just witnessed a historic moment. The first time in history that a soccer player has been sent off for covering his mouth and saying something while covering his mouth, right? And it was Miguel Almiron, and he was sent off. We don't know what he said, but they already warned, hey, whoever covers their mouth and talks to another player, I mean, from another team, because if he talks to someone on his own team, I'm not sure how they'd react. In fact, I don't know how they'd act if the one doing it is Vinicius himself, or Messi himself, or Cristiano himself, or Mbappe, or Lamine Yamal. So this won't happen to the stars. But it did happen to Miguel Almiron, the best footballer on Paraguay's national team, right? I want to see them do that to other players. But anyway, let's keep an eye on our bowler and see what happens. But for now, Turkey is in a tough spot. Let's see what happens in the second half. By the time you watch, it will have already happened. I'm going to talk about what I think was a pretty clear blocking foul on the first goal by Brazil. I was shocked because it turns out that during the broadcast on Telemundo, nobody said anything. They showed the good replay after it had already happened, after the referee had restarted the game. I'll tell you who the referee was in a moment. I'm mainly mentioning this in the video because of that. And honestly, I was amazed because, I mean, nobody noticed the foul committed against the Haitian player. Look at that play. I can't show the image here, on play for obvious reasons, but the Haitian player touches the ball first. He's the one who scores the own goal. The Haitian touches the ball first, right? Okay, Cunha never gets there. What Cunha does manage to do is hit the Haitian player's leg around the shin. He doesn't score an own goal since the Haitian player touches the ball before it hits him. Look, it catches the Brazilian player Cunha on the left knee, but with his right foot and also with the sole facing forward, I mean with a studs up challenge, there in a very dangerous area. Okay, he's hitting the Caribbean player, and this has to be a foul. I mean, always, absolutely always. Who was refereeing this match on the field? Hernandez. Who was on VR duty? Del Cerro Grande. Hey, it's a more than obvious mistake, which would mean that these two guys, the one below and the one above, shouldn't referee the next match. And tomorrow they should just pack their bags and leave. Well, that's it, guys. Well, no, we still don't know what happened, right? I'm just getting ahead of what the commentators think. Within that mafia and that rotten thing that is Spanish refereeing, whether it's the on-field referees or the refereeing pundits who never made it. Some did, but there are others, I'll give two examples now, who never achieved anything. And well, they spend their time, sucking up to those who are inside the system, hoping they can stay there, right? Like the part we've talked about a million times, the media side that's necessary for this absolutely rotten system to keep going, to keep being maintained, and also defending the indefensible, because also Spanish refereeing is very, very discredited in FIFA. Only Hernandez has gone and Del Cerro Grande, that's it. They won't referee again after this. Look, Pavel Este, what he said about this action, he said, Haiti complains at 1-0 about a struggle between Hans Del Croix and Mateus Cunha. The Haitian gets there first, pokes the ball, and after that, the Brazilian steps on him incidentally. He says the goal is legal, but wait, because then the referee hooligan goes and says, with this good refereeing by Hernandez in charge. I don't know what. And another thing, wait, he wrote here. Well, I don't have the tweet right now. Let's look for it. Because like a referee hooligan, as always, he puts it here. Maybe the guy deleted it. No, here it is. Come on, damn it. Right? And here with Hernandez before the match refereeing Brazil, right? Like being there at the top of the world. Well, yeah, at the top of the world, but making a mistake, in my opinion, a pretty serious one. But wait, the other guy, Mr. Asubio, he says totally legal goal, but he shares the photos and then shares the video, which, right, I can show it. Then he shares the video and asks people. I don't know how the poll he made turned out, but anyway, it seems to me everyone is giving their opinion already with the video, with a replay they showed when nothing could be changed anymore because the game had already restarted, right? Well, something very clear, as we say, that we've seen, right? And well, this Hernandez back in the day, remember, he was the one who, along with De Burgos Bengoechea, don't leave, okay? Now, discussing the South African coach's comments on Messi's action, I don't want to stray from the World Cup, but I'll connect it since De Burgos Bengoechea was just interviewed about the famous Super Cup between Real Madrid and Barcelona. When he sent off Cristiano, who then got a 5-match ban, we started the league badly, partly because we didn't have Cristiano. Barca won that league because we failed to pick up, I don't know how many points in the first 5 match days. And when things start badly, they usually get worse. And besides, he invented that penalty for Luis Suarez. Do you remember that Keylor Navas who never touched him, right? Well, now this guy has confessed that back then he wasn't very prepared and that he made mistakes. On which side? Well, for the side we already know, among other things, because they were paying for it, it was still 2017, summer of 2017. Barcelona, this club that was playing the Supercopa against Real Madrid, was paying millions, had already paid millions, and kept paying the second in command of the referees. This is De Burgos Bengoechea.
The Supercopa first leg, I think it was August. I remember I was at the summer training camp and the president comes to me and tells me that he's going to assign me that match. The start of my third season, imagine still being a national referee, not yet international Catalonia. No, it was Victoria's Secret. What Vitoriano Sanchez Arminio. And well, he tells me in person that he's going to assign me the match. And well, I had two in the first 2 years with a very good dynamic, a very good trajectory. I'll interpret it for you. And I got here to the match, honestly, thinking I was a better referee than I really was. And maybe that, I don't know if the word is arrogance, overconfidence, or just too much confidence made me, I say it and I admit it, perform at a level that wasn't up to the match I had to officiate. It didn't match. Up to the match I had to officiate. That I made several mistakes, I think, but I'm not going to specify this one, or this one.
Damn, but it's just that everything was in favor of one team, man. I mean, and on top of that, the arrogance with which he acted, that Cristiano got fed up with him and ended up with a penalty that they committed against him. I think it was Umtiti, right? And Cristiano complaining, did this to him and this one. Of course, I mean, how many times have we seen that many referees have held back with certain stars, right? Look, we were talking earlier about whether if Cristiano or Messi or Mbappe or someone like that covers their mouth and says something to a rival during this World Cup, they wouldn't get sent off, because I'm sure with Messi, definitely not. With Messi, definitely not. With Cristiano, I don't know anymore, right? But anyway, it would have to be in this Spanish ecosystem. This is at the World Cup in the Spanish ecosystem for sure, because how many times have they done it, right? And that day, This guy, well, he thought anyway, always in one direction because it was damn, it was obvious. But the boss wanted you to officiate one way.
I think I made several mistakes. I think I wasn't up to the task. Like I said, maybe I lacked more experience to handle that match. It was a match that I kept paying for. I'm not going to lie to you, for 3 or 4 months. Psychologically, I had a really hard time. I had a really hard time in a lot of tough moments. And it was a learning experience for the future, for what was coming, for what would come my way. And honestly, I recovered from that moment, which was very tough. The moment, but
I mean, really, it's amazing, man. It's just what we've seen. It was a time when the Barcelona was paying millions to a head referee, and these guys were refereeing in a certain direction. Man, it's just unbelievable. And now he comes and says, yes, that he was very arrogant and all that. But for example, sending off Luis Suarez, who was biting other players and stepping on his fellow professionals, no, or faking penalties, no. Do you guys remember here when he made that little jump precisely in that penalty that was called? It's just unbelievable, isn't it? He had to send off Cristiano, and on top of that, they gave him 5 matches, the first 5 of the season. Man, it's outrageous. Well, let's get back to what I was saying about the South African coach. Pay attention to what I'm about to say. It's in English, it has subtitles, and you can understand him perfectly. Do you remember the play, the second sending off of a South African player in the first match, the opening match against Mexico? The first one is a red card because a Mexican player was through on goal and the guy comes from behind, takes him down, perfect. The second one, I always said, for me, that's not a red card, in which a Mexican player, he blocks the South African player's way. I think I remember, not the whole play right now, but you'll remember, and the South African player moves his arm a bit to get him out of the way. But at no point is it an elbow, at no point is it a slap. He hits him in the face with his hand. It could be a yellow, but never a red. Well, then this gentleman arrives visibly angry. And on top of that, the other guy has been given a 3-match ban. And this gentleman comes and says this, and he's absolutely right.
When I see what happens yesterday with Messi, well, this visibly, they've given out bans, and this gentleman says it to the world. By the way,
it was that famous World Cup meme, remember? Not the footballer who stared at the Brazilian referee who couldn't speak English, but the one who got sent off, right? The meme was that one of them stared at him and was saying, come on, just say what you want to say already because we don't know what you're going to call. And it was, well, that suggestion from the referee who calls the VAR guy. And of course, he sees that and has to give him the red card, right? But it was a really unfair red card.
It was a red card when I see what happened yesterday with Messi. So I'm like, I don't agree. Certainly not. I think there wasn't even a VAR with Messi. So with us, there was a VAR. When you see the situation, the Mexican player blocked my player.
Here he's going to explain what happened in that play with his player, which is what I said before.
Not really regarding the ball. He's just holding Temba, and Temba tried to get over him, and he put his arm over his shoulder. That's all he does. He didn't do that. When you get the red card for that and then 3-game suspensions, I'm sorry, but this is much, much, much too severe. And again. I don't want Messi to get a red card because that player has to be on the pitch. You saw yesterday what a wonderful player he is. But yeah, what is the difference then? So, and I'm a little bit frustrated about that, certainly.
Yeah, it's awesome. He says the same as us. Messi, a fabulous player, of course. A great story, of course. 3 goals the other day. Fantastic. But damn, but why? I mean, why does his player not only get a red card, but also a 3-match ban? And Messi with a textbook red card, man, a textbook one, gets away with it. The referee lets him off. Well, look, the referee and the VAR guys, right? And this was the play. They're already making these memes, right? The referee there, Diego, in that same match, I'm discovering plays that I swear to you I hadn't seen before but it's just, no, look, it's not the same. It's not the same. Here, I don't remember who this was, but here an Argentine player elbows an Algerian player without playing the ball. Wait, here. Look at the play. He gets closer, boom, what he hits him with in the face. But you're going to see another one. You're going to see another one, which I have here, this one from Enzo Fernandez. Look, he might end up at Madrid. I insist, it's not the same. It's not the same. Pay attention. Boom. I mean, he even goes in with his arm, with the opposite arm, and then pulls his arm out. Man, at least one of the two. For me, both could be red cards. That's Argentina for you. Argentina, first match of this World Cup after the one we just had, with 7 penalties in 7 matches. And here, nothing. By the way, only, I hope I'm not wrong with the numbers. Out of all the matches in the first phase, which were a lot, only 5 penalties have been called. Argentina in 7 matches in the last World Cup, 7 penalties. It's crazy. Anyway, hey, one last thing. This really made me laugh. My producer, Arnaldo, producer of Istar Español, of A Todo Gol, and while he was also a producer at Bain Sports back in the day, shared this with me. And a great friend, by the way, he sent me this tweet, and Cesar Augusto Londoño talks about it here. And look, because let's see if I can do it. Let's see if here it is. Look at this. The fans who attended the England versus Croatia match in Arlington drank 45,349 beers at a bar near the stadium. The Texas Live venue reported that they sold more beers than during a Dallas Cowboys playoff game on a day with high temperatures. Who was there? Dad, I was there, by the way. We were there. That's right. We were there. By the way, I didn't drink. I mean, I practically don't drink beer because I don't like it, except on really hot days. And that situation was intense. And with the walk we took and everything, it was like 35 degrees there. It was crazy. And at one point we said, come on, let's have a beer here. So mine is one of the 45,000, right? 45,349. That's where we were. Yes, sir. And right in front of the stadium, this was the place. The stadium, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, right in front. Here we are reporting from a legendary venue of this World Cup, where, by the way, Argentina will play the next 2 matches. And that's the Life Texas, and we were there. That's where they threw the party for the English fans. And of course, I mean, if you're English, after a match, by the way, they were getting along great with the Croatians here. There was no problem between them. If you're English, after a match you've won, you've scored 4 goals. You take them to a place where, by the way, it's called, look, the bar there, the Texas Life, it's a hotel, right? It's called Beer Garden. There it is, Beer Garden. So what are the English going to do? Well, of course, they're going to drink all the stock. Look, and Glenn Hoddle was there too, wearing the legendary England kit from Spain '82. And of course, remember what I told you in the video that I started asking him here, hey, so what did you think, Bellingham and all that? And he tells me, he says, look, I'm basically here, man, just so the kids can have a good time. And honestly, I reminded him about the 2-1 in the Euro Cup, and he says, look, basically, I'm here for the beer. Well, yeah, we were there. And of course, we remember that. If you haven't seen the video, I'm going to highlight it for you now on the right side of the screen. We remember that, well, this is Benidorm at its wildest, and then we also talked with Madrid fans. Well, anyway, one of those 45,000 beers here from someone who, you see, doesn't drink. I mean, many times now I drink my beers with lemon because otherwise I don't like them. Hey, well, how nice it is to be part of the historical record, right? How nice it is to be part of a historical record. Take care. Give it a like if you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and hype up the next video. It's going to be great. Bye.